What's up guys, it's Captain X Productions back with another retro review for the fourth week in a row. Today we are doing the set 7754 Home 1 Mon Calamari Star Cruiser, released in the summer of 2009 to go alongside the 10th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars. Fun fact, this set was a fan vote set from back in the day. It was also competing against the Slave 1 and Palpatine's Arrest, which I've reviewed both of those sets. Not the exact Slave 1, but I've reviewed a Slave 1, and Palpatine's Arrest was a couple of weeks back. So we're going to have a look at this really cool set. First we're going to dive into these minifigures, because there's a couple of exclusive ones here, and some really cool ones. So first up on our minifigures is Lando Calrissian. He is in his Return of the Jedi outfit, which is kind of cool, because at this point in time, we had only ever had 3 Landos. Cloud City, which was outrageously expensive, even back in 2009. We had his skiff version from 2006. And it was cool to get this version, so I really do like this minifigure a lot. He does not have any back printing, as far as I'm aware. I don't think he would have. Yeah, he doesn't. It's 2009, they're not doing that. He does have really, he has a basic kind of print for his head, but I do like that. See, I don't like the new Lando hairpiece. It's like a kind of a short afro, which, I mean, it resembles Billy D. Williams' hair, but I prefer the way that this minifigure just looks. I like the torso. You could use that on, like, if you were making a mock or you like to make custom Rebel minifigures, that's a torso that would really work. Well, this is a rare minifigure. He has been remade in 2017, 8 years after the set came out, but this version is just cool for many, many reasons. Let's move on to the next minifigure, who also is very usable. Next minifigure up is General Crix Madine, which is quite cool. This guy he has the smiley face. It's kind of funny, right? LEGO went to the effort to print a beard and stuff, but they just give him the standard smiley face, so that is kind of funny. No back print. Again, this was 2009. They weren't really doing that. No leg printing. In fact, none of the characters in this set have any leg printing, but that is to be expected. He's just a very generic, like, I know what character he's representing from the movie. He's one of the ones that talks. He's the one that says, "We have stolen a small Imperial shuttle." It's him that blurts out that line. Like, I know that, but it's one of those characters that's just like, very generic looking. You could use him in the background of mocks if you were to swap out, like, the head. That is a very, like, it's a very usable torso. Like, I do like that. Not that I buy it for that, but really cool, generic looking minifigure. Let's move on to the next minifig. So, fix the cape there. So, a character that has recently reappeared in Star Wars media, more so than any of these characters have recently, is Mon Mothma, as she was in the Andor show. So this is quite a cool minifigure. She has a very basic face print. Like, I'm going to zoom in just to show you. Like, she has the most basic face print. She has no leg printing. There's no back printing. Like, see if you were to move that cape, right? If I did not know this was Mon Mothma, I would probably assume it was an Indiana Jones looking character. It does have the Anakin Skywalker Clone Wars hairpiece, which, I mean, back then that worked, but I suppose nowadays they would just, put a custom piece on it. It is a really cool minifigure still. Very basic face print, but it's a character that I'm happy exists, at least in like a kind of classic form, because I prefer classic minifigures over modern minifigures. Let's move on to one of the really cool minifigures, which was also his first appearance. All these characters here, apart from one, this was their first appearance in this form. So here we have Admiral Akbar. So this is a really cool character because this was his first appearance. The only character who had appeared in any of these outfits before was the A-Wing pilot, but this was a cool minifigure and I still like it. I think today they would try and give him like arm printing or leg printing, but I like the way this looks. Like, I'm really happy with this. For 2009, it's really good. It just shows, like, even back then they were trying really hard to do something cool with the minifigures, and I really like this. The headpiece has seen reuses. It's on the Mon Calamari officer in this set, and it's also being used on Nadar Veb, a Jedi who, I think that minifigure is 2010, but I really do like this minifigure, and I'm very happy with it. Another cool one to add to the collection. So the second and only other minifigure in the set to have an accessory, Lando had his blaster. The Mon Calamari officer has a wrench, so he's a really cool minifigure, one that I might get another 1 or 2 of for, if I want to do mocks or if I just want to populate certain sets. But this is a cool looking one-off minifigure that they've not revisited. It's like, yeah, you could get an extra pilot or just a ground crew, but the fact that they went, do you know what, we're going to do this is even better. I suppose they're just trying to get their money's worth out of making that Akbar head mold. As you can pretty much see, it is the exact same, but I really do like this minifigure a lot. The torso print, again, no back printing or leg printing. This is 2009. You're just not going to see that. Let's move on to not the most least cool minifigure in the set, but definitely still cool on his own. Let's have a look. And here he is, the final minifigure. This is an A-Wing pilot, which is exclusive to the set. All these figures are exclusive. Akbar was released later in the 2013 A-Wing, and I'm pretty sure it's just the same version, but this is a cool pilot. It's one of the retro ones. He has barely any printing anywhere else, just his torso has some. His head is just that classic Lego smiley head, which I do like quite a bit. It's kind of funny that that's what they chose to give him. His helmet as well, this has like some cool prints on it. Like they tried to put a little bit of Star Wars kind of Arabish there. It's got a yellow visor, works quite well. It looks more like a race car driver with it down, to be completely honest, but for 2009, it's not too bad. Let's jump into this set. So this is the set in all its glory. So it's representing two areas of the Mon Calamari Star Cruiser, the kind of bridge and kind of briefing room, and the hangar bay. So this does split into sections, I will show you that. But first, I want to show you something really cool that comes in this set. So in Palpatine's Arrest, we looked at the Jedi Airspeeder. In this, you get a really cool looking A-Wing, which is something I'm happy they included. They could have just made the A-Wing its own little set that year that we could have bought separate. That feels like something they would do now. It's a really good looking A-Wing. The stickers on mine have peeled a little over time. This is a 13, nearly 14-year-old set. So I really like this. Again, it's a basic one. It's got a little bit underneath that will then show the feature of later. It does have landing gear. You can pull that down like so. Works pretty well. You place it on the floor like that. That's one of my favourite Lego Star Wars pieces in the cockpit. If we zoom in there, you can see the little. Like, I know it's not accurate, or well, it works anyway. It's like the Death Star trench piece, like that you saw back in. It's not like the 2006 X-Wing and stuff. So that's kind of cool. It does have some flick fires which do fall off. They are not the best designed. I will be honest about that. You get these little pieces that can rotate like that on either side of the wing, and you can, you know, aim at the base. See, it's easier to do it if you're thumb on these ones. Actually, they're not the best. And there's a feature in the back which we will get into. You can fit an A-Wing pilot in, obviously. I'll just demonstrate that now. So you take your A-Wing pilot like so, put him in there. He's got plenty of room, and you can lie him back, and then you can close it. Works a treat. Works really nice in there. Again, these flick fire missiles can really annoy you. You could just remove them. I am a purist, so I don't really like to remove parts from my sets. It's not for me, but it's quite a good looking A-Wing. So yeah, move that aside. So this is in two sections, and you build it in two sections. You build the hangar first. Well, technically you build the A-Wing, then you build the hangar, then you build like the briefing room / bridge. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to show you how these come apart. So if I zoom in like this, you can see that little kind of piece here. So if I pull back on that, and you pull the little pins, because there's a few pins, I'll show you that. There you go, it's apart. So this section has a few pins, a technic rod kind of goes through there. You're sliding it out and pulling away from the pins. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at it in two different sections. So since we just looked at the A-Wing, I thought it would be appropriate to look at the hangar first. So you do get this really cool piece here, which is the main feature of the hangar. So it's this really long technic rod, and it's kind of like how you get a pit to look at cars, and you get little kind of hydraulic cranes that lift those up. Well, it's that, but it's for the A-Wing. So say you want to take the A-Wing pilot out, you can have him wandering around or whatever. I'll show you. There's a few features in this area. You can put that like that, and this little you can also merge with the A-Wing pilot. That's an unintentional feature there. You can swing it, you can properly spin this thing around. I'll admit, I'm 19 and I find this to be one of the funniest things to play around with. This can be quite enjoyable. I don't think there's many other Lego sets with a feature as fun as this. So you get a few different options for your play. So you can get this little fuel hose here. I'll show you. Yeah, this little fuel hose that comes off here. And you can take your A-Wing pilot, there you have him standing here, and you can pull pulling this back, you can plug the fuel line into a little bit inside the A-wing. You're refueling the A-wing. It's got some cool, you got some ladders here, so you can put your character up here. It shows how you can go up there, which is kind of cool. Which I do like. If you don't want to refuel it, you could always take it out, plug it back in here. And one of the really cool features is you get this crane up here, so I'll show you that. So you do get this crane, which is on, it's got like this kind of, it's got a little technic system so you can move it up and down. And the crane can also, angle itself here like that. And it can move along freely, but, you're right here. So what that's used for is to extract the engine, or hyperdrive, or you want to call it, from the back of the A-wing. So if we zoom in the back of the A-wing, what you're meant to do is you move the crane over to the side there so we can do it. Is you can open up these two flaps, right? Say we have the Mon Cala, he's down here, he's repairing it. Just have it like that. There we go, avoid doesn't get taken out by the spaceship or A-wing. So what you can do is you can move your crane into position, lower the cable low enough. You can stick it onto this here, and if you move the A-wing forward, the engine just slides on out, and he can stand there and work on it while it twirls around and eventually hits him. Play features can be fun. It's a really cool detail area. In some places, you do get these kind of walls up here. They're on either side. If you come through here, you do get this piping, which is a cool little detail, as well as a walkway. So you can have characters come from the briefing room. Obviously, it's not accurate to the in-universe ship, but you can have characters fit through the door there and such. That's always a really fun feature when they put that in Lego sets. And one other thing, right, that you can get in this set, which I really do like, I'll show you, is there's a lot of hidden compartments, and this gives me Millennium Falcon vibes. So you get two of them. You get them here and here. They're kind of obvious. You lift them up. There's nothing inside them, but it's kind of cool that they give you the feature if you did want to hide things like tools or cargo or just anything that you would want to hide. You get that option. Blasters maybe. It's a very solid built section. I really do like it. The A-wing is simple enough. It just slides back in like so, and I don't make it look simple, but it is. Disconnect. Plug it back in, you're sorted. So, yeah, let's have a look at one of the really cool sections, and that is the briefing room, which works well on its own if you wanted to do it like that. Let's show that off. So this section on its own is one of the more iconic bits. It has one of the most iconic lines from Star Wars. Maybe not as iconic as "No, I am your father." But this, on its own, like, if Lego released this one okay, maybe that's a bad example. There's one section on its own as an 18+ display. I think this would sell. This is like, this section here is, apart from that one little bit, is well built. You can see it there. I really do like this. This was not a bad thing to build. So you do get this really cool piece here, which I'm going to, I was going to try and remove. Doesn't really come off, but it's a hologram. It's a hologram of Death Star 2, how they're going to destroy it, which is quite cool. There's a lot of stickers in this set. I cannot really put my hand on any. The one piece in this set that I know, to my knowledge, that's printed is the targeting controls inside the A-wing. So you get all these little stickers here, which is kind of good. You get loads of areas to place your characters, You could have this guy over here saying that quote that I mentioned earlier in the video. We have stolen a small Imperial shuttle. Yeah, and you can make them fall. The area around is a little bit difficult, but you can have them, kind of standing in here, talking. You get loads of seats, which they do give you one A-wing pilot, which, it does work. If you have loads of, it's like any Rebel pilots, in the orange, like, drum suits, or you have any, like, of these, A-wing or B-wing pilots, populating the set with those minifigures works 100%. You can have Orlando, kind of coming up along here, just wandering around. This section doesn't really have as many features, but it has one really cool one. And you can have Mon Mothma just, chilling out up here, where it works a treat. But as cool as this section is, and yeah, you do get some stairs, like you can come from the hangar right into here, which is kind of cool, and you get some really nice details. I really like this. You get little kind of hologram projectors. You even get a little cup up there, which you could give to Admiral Akbar. but we're going to turn this thing around and show you one of the really cool features. So, obviously there would be a big window here, which is actually how Akbar dies, unfortunately. You do get these really nice kind of red lights up here. You got another stickered control panel, or rather like kind of screen. You get this kind of piece over here. I like these little greeble kind of detail things. And you get two chairs, which each of them have this kind of stickered control panel, which is good. So, you know, you can take your minifigures, you can have the one of the Mon Cala officers in one of them. You know, just, you know, he's done repairing the A-Wing, he's just up here doing his thing. And then you can have Akbar in his chair, which is, you know, I think you can guess what the store, if you're on the set, you'll know what the feature is. But if we do that, you can have him spinning around in his chair, which I just really like that feature. One of my favourite features on a LEGO Star Wars set is this. You know, you can have the, it's a trap type thing. You do get, that's a bit cringe. You do have a little hallway, but it's like, you can, you can kind of fit minifigures through, and they can fall into space and die, apparently. But yeah, it is a really cool set. So I'm going to show you how to reconnect it to the hanger, and then we'll get on to the instructions. So if we take the set like so, I am a bit too close in there. And basically, because you get the Technic pins, there's here, this rod will just slide right in. I'll show you. And you slide that back. It's if you push it out, it's when you pull it out that it can disconnect, but if you push it in, it makes it basically, you know, completes the circuit. So there it is. That is, and Lando apparently fell over and died. That's great. Lots of death in this review. That is the main review of the set. Let's have a look at the instructions, because there's some cool stuff in them instructions. So normally when I buy used sets, it goes well for me. The instructions have some tape on them, unfortunately. These are some really cool instructions. I'm just going to angle it so you can see them better. Yeah, you get two instruction booklets, 1 and 2 obviously. So 1 just takes you up to about here, right as you're finishing the hangar bay. That's cool, nothing on the back to show. Instruction booklet 2 though is kind of where the coolness is. So that's what the box art would look like if I owned the box. And that's kind of how they depict the minifigures. I suppose if they put Akbar up there on the box, you might not see him. But it works quite well. You do get that cool logo that back in 2009 they were putting all the 10th anniversary sets. So on the back, you do have the kind of LEGO Club type win thing for other sets that were out during that time. But something that I really like, just nostalgia, that is the cool part about reviewing old sets, is if we go to the very back page, we get all the features of the set, which I have showed all of these. Yep, I've showed all these features in the set. And something cool here is all these classic sets from 2009. I have reviewed 2 of these sets on the channel previously. I have reviewed 7748 Corporate Alliance Tank Droid and 7749 Echo Base. One of these other potential sets, you never know. But yeah, let's get into my final thoughts on this really cool set. So, my final thoughts. Should you buy this set 13, almost 14 years later? My answer, yes. This is one of those ones that's not worth, like, too much. Like, I paid 100 for this used. And that wasn't me winning it on an auction. That wasn't me getting a crazy good deal. That set just doesn't seem to be worth all that much. I think what it was is, like, there's still some exclusive minifigures in here. Like, Mon Mothma, Crix Madine, like, all these figures, apart from Akbar, I've never been, you know, these exact versions have never been in other sets. I thought personally, you know, with it being a 10th anniversary set, it would be worth more, but surprisingly that's not the case. If you look up other sets like the Battle of Endor, which was also a 20th anniversary set, which I might be buying, not 20th, 10th, it's not worth too much either. I give this set a 9 out of 10. The only error that I personally have is maybe another minifigure. The minifigures are good, but maybe put in one more. Like, maybe an astromech or something, or like a Rebel Fleet Trooper. Although, to be fair, back then when this set was out, you could get those in big numbers because of a battle pack. But anyway, before we head out, the next video will not be a Figure Friday, but it will be my review of the set 9509 Advent Calendar from 2012 will be the next video I do on this channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed our retro review.